How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Candyman 2021.
This is where it all began. The story of Candyman. Local character, he walk around handing out candy to the neighborhood kids. One day, a couple of kids get raped.
So this movie is a sequel, or a direct sequel to the original one, but in the same time, it's doing its own little things, like new twists and turns. So it's like a sequel slash kind of like a reboot, like a remake in a way. A lot of people have been asking, is Tony Todd coming back in this movie to reprise his role as Candyman? I'm not gonna say anything. All I can say is just watch the movie for yourselves and just have a good time. So our main character's name is Anthony. He is an artist. He likes to paint. He's just an artist that likes to sell his art, that likes to present his art to the privileged people, of course. And yes, this is the same character, Anthony, from the original Candyman movie, because in the original Candyman movie, he was just a baby. So in this one, he's all grown up now. Yes, the mother does return in this movie as well. So him and his girlfriend, they're like artists. They like to sell art. They like to present the art to the privileged people, like I said, or to the rich people. And of course, people don't like some people like before he got invested into the Candyman lore. People didn't like his art. People that his art was shit, and then people didn't like him because, or people, yeah, they didn't like him and his art because he was black. I mean, real story. There's some racism in this movie. I'm not gonna lie, because Candyman's lore was all about racism, literally, especially in the original one of how he was accused um, for loving a white woman in interracial like relationships and after the Civil War. So that was the original Candyman's origin. This one, like I said, that's yeah, Anthony's. You can tell there's still racism in the movie, and then not only just that, I guess there's like a new Candyman, because they introduced like another character. I forgot his name already. I'm sorry, but they introduced like another character that was wrongfully accused, pretty much, and was killed because he was passing out candy to local children back in like the '70s, and once they found out like where he lives, where he resides, the cops started to show up, shoot him, beat him, just kill him, pretty much, wrongfully accused because later on after his death, candies were still being sent to children with razor blades in it, so it wasn't him. So he was wrongly accused, and so I guess this movie it's kind of like The Crow in a way. Whoever is wrongly accused comes back to life for like vengeance. So that's why there's like they even show you in this movie there's like a whole bunch of multiple Candymans, and the first Candyman was obviously the one we all know and love, Tony Todd. He's like the first earliest Candyman, and after that there was other Candymen, Candy women throughout the timeline, throughout history.
On your knees. Hands! Hands! Hands!
They beat him, tortured him, killed him right there on the spot. A couple weeks later, more razor blades and more candy. He been innocent. So he's real? Candyman ain't a he.
So when Anthony becomes invested into this Candyman lore, he puts in his art, and that's when a lot of people become intoxicated by the art. They start to get obsessed with this art, and they say Candyman in the mirror 5 times, and a whole just spring of carnage starts to happen with each of these characters throughout the movie. And this movie kind of reminds me of A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, because as soon as Anthony does it, he doesn't die, but instead he becomes like a vessel for Candyman, so that way he's becoming the next Candyman. So he's like the vessel in a way. As especially as soon as he got like stung by the bee, as he got stung by the bee, his hand, his skin, his hand and his skin pretty much, and his whole arm starts to like have like dry skin and starts to like deform. Like it's kind of like body horror. It kind of reminds me of movies like The Fly or Videodrome, like stuff like David Cronenberg type movies. So that's the plot in a nutshell. What did I think of this movie? This movie was surprisingly good. I enjoyed it. I watched it in theaters with my friends last night. I loved it. It was a good sequel. I haven't seen the other sequels like 2 and 3, so I can't say. But this is a pretty damn direct sequel to the original one, because it does include the voice of Helen from the first movie, like Virginia Madsen. So she's back to narrate her own character's dialogue, which is cool. And like I said, the mother's in the first one from the first one is back in this movie because obviously she's Anthony's mother in the story. But yeah, like This movie actually, like, you would think like it kind of dishonors the original one once you watch the trailer because they're totally doing everything different, but instead it brings new ideas in this movie and it actually does the opposite. It actually appreciates the original one, but just with new twists, which is really, really amazing. Some of the scenes were actually genuinely kind of creepy and kind of like terrifying, and then some of the kills, the gore in this movie, it's just spot on. The characters were interesting. Some of the characters were annoying, and there's just some characters that you just couldn't wait to die, and once they deliver, you're just satisfied.
No.
Candyman.
Stop.
I don't want to get creeped out in my new apartment before bed.
Candyman.
Black people don't need to be summoning.
I dare you.
Don't say that.
Say his name.
Candyman.
You better not do that last one.
Even Candyman himself, he looks pretty creepy, especially the way he's floating like a ghost. Like his feet is not even touching the ground. Like, oh, it's just kind of creepy. And of course, I get vibes from the movie Get Out and Us. Then again, this movie is produced by Jordan Peele, which is really cool. So I can tell like some of his style or of his, I don't know, some of his like artistic values and is still in this movie. So overall, I enjoyed it. I liked the sequel. It wasn't like perfect. There was some like a little flaws here and there, but yeah, I liked it, and especially the ending. The ending is very surprising. You guys won't be disappointed with the ending, so I'm not gonna spoil it, but you guys won't be disappointed with the ending. So I enjoyed this sequel. I thought it was good. I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. So not as good as the original, in my opinion. I still love the original one way better than this, but this is not a bad follow-up, and this is not a bad modern horror movie. This is really well done and executed well. So this was my quick review of Candyman 2021. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Anthony. Are you okay?
Anthony.
What the hell is going on?
This neighborhood is haunted.
I think I made a mistake. I brought him back.
Candyman isn't real.
He chose you. He has purpose for you.
Tell everyone.
New to the neighborhood.
You should say it.
Candyman.
Say his name.